Everyone, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and we are doing October's monthly Tarot and Oracle, Life, Love, and Abundance, our 12 astrological signs readings. That's a mouthful. And we are doing it with an October, Halloween, fall theme this time around. I don't know which tarot deck I will be featuring. I know it will be a tarot deck, and I know it will be more of a fallish or shadowy type deck that I will be working with. The reason I don't know is because this time around I decided I was called to, for each astrological sign, to use a different tarot deck. I'll probably be consistent on the oracle decks, but the tarot decks will be probably different from each reading. So if you end up looking at a video for, say, a friend or a lover, then you'll probably see that, hey, they have a different deck than what I had. That's because I'm just feeling like doing that. Well, no, we'll see how that goes for me. I may end up finding a deck and I just fall in love and use it for the rest of the time, or I may literally use 12 different tarot decks. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, this is a general reading. I touch upon, life, love, abundance topics, shadow aspect topics. But this is for any person with this particular sun or moon astrological sign looking at it. Is it going to speak to every single thing happening in your personal life? No. But that's what a personal reading is for. So if you would like to have something more in depth about your month ahead, you can head on over to abundantlifetarot.com or to my Etsy store, Abundant Life Shop, and book a reading with me. I'm happy to go much further and much deeper into your personal situation. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and enjoy your reading. Have a very blessed and abundant, and it's a harvest time. This is wonderful. It's fall, and so embrace it, enjoy it. Things will be discarding and dying off, making room for the new. So it's a beautiful, there's the fallow time, but it's just making room for what's to grow. So much love, many blessings to all of you. Hi, Cancers. This is your October Life, Love, monthly tarot and oracle reading, and we are working with the White Rabbit Oracle combined with the Oracle of Nightmares by Ariana Siegel. She is of her company White Rabbit Oracle, which is on Etsy, and I decided to combine the two decks together for one massive shadow and light oracle deck, and we'll be working with the Bohemian Gothic as our main course. But as you know, what I like to do in the beginning, I like to look at the overall overarching energies that our lovely Cancer friends will be working with and dealing with in the month of October. So Spirit, what are those overall overarching energies that Cancers will be facing or confronting or dealing with? What are those overall energies? I see a card that is not, I don't want it flipped. Let's see, what are the overall energies for Cancers for October? Oh no. You know me, I like to work with jumpers. But I'm having a hard time shuffling tonight for some reason. Okay. All right, we have Illuminate. We have Legacy. And we have Caution. Okay, so illuminate, things coming to light for you, things being revealed to you, the inner wisdom coming up through you, and you saying, hey, you being affirmed, like not like it's like your inner wisdom has an opportunity to be confirmed. It comes to light, like that something comes up that you're like, hey, I knew this was to be true, but now here it is illuminated. Everyone's looking at it. So, you know, there's things being illuminated in your life, things that are being revealed to you, but not in a bad way, not in a way like secrets revealed, but more in like the, you know, life wisdoms that are coming up for you that's being revealed and illuminated. You're in a place of focusing on, you know, what kind of legacy you'd like to leave behind. What do you want to work on now that is your ultimate legacy? You know, these are the things that you've been thinking about, Cancers, and really pondering as you're moving forward. And as a result, you are being cautious. You're using caution, great caution to some extent. And we'll see if this caution is something that's warranted or if this is a caution that may be a bit too much. Maybe you're too overly cautious. We'll take a look at how the rest of the spread and the reading goes to see if the overall energies are, for some of you, where it's you need to bring more caution into your dealings in love and life and work, or that maybe the caution that you've been taking is right on or spot on, or maybe you've been using too much caution. And maybe sometimes you need to throw caution to the wind if you want to build a beautiful legacy, something that's lasting. You know, we could play it safe, Cancers. We always can play it safe, but that's not where our power lies, and that's not why we came here, right? All right, so as I like to do, one moment, please. Bishop, I want to lay out all the cards and then do the reading. So the first question for Spirit, we come to you and we ask, Spirit, what do Cancers need to confront in the month of October, or what will Cancers be confronting in the month of October? What will Cancers be confronting in... Oops. Oh, nice. I know there's things happening. What's happening for Cancers in the month of October in life and love and abundance? What's coming? What will Cancers be confronting in some major arcana energy? Okay. Kind of exciting. Any other messages for what's happening in the month? Okay. Four of Cups. Let's scoot you all the way over here. Okay. What tools will Cancers be utilizing in the month of October? All right, Cancers, what tools? Oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit the tripod. What tools? I'm going to make sure. I have a feeling this is going to be a bigger spread. So I'm just going to make sure we have enough room. And all right. And then what's the outcome cards for the month of October for Cancers in life, love, and or abundance? What will Cancers be taking with them into November? And what will Cancers be leaving behind in October? What are the outcome cards? Uh-oh. I just had a feeling like I was going to drop my deck. Okay. Any other messages? Oh, wow, you've got quite the spread going on. Huh, okay. Shift some stuff around. All right. What do Cancers need to surrender in the month of October? Surrender to joy. Surrender defensiveness. Okay. For abundance, Spirit. For Cancers, what's happening in the abundance area in October, and what advice do you have? Oh, this is nice. This is an energy that's been coming up for folks. I can shuffle the cards over and over again. And I have even shuffled them. And this is the card that just keeps coming. It's a big... we'll see if we can find it in the tarot card. And I'll see if that's been a common thread or theme in a lot of people's readings this month. All right, for love. For the singled and coupled Cancers, what's happening in October and what advice do you have for them, Spirit? Thank you. What advice? Oh, of course. Okay, we've got retreats. You deserve love and calling in your soulmate, Cancers. So let's see if I can make some room for these cards into my spread. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm running out of room. I want to make sure you guys can see them. I think I did it like this last time. Like so. And then I scoot this down so you can see it. And then finally, we're going to close the reading with a Halloween Oracle. Okay. Card just for my lovely Cancers. A message from Spirit to you. Trick or treat. Mischief in play. Oh, now you guys can't see that card. Darn. I guess you can kind of see it over here. My goodness. Soon I'm going to have more space on my table when I move my books. As soon as the shelf is built. Waiting for that. Excuse me as I sip on my hot tea. Alright guys, let's get started. So, just like with the Illuminate card, we have the Star card. So, you are feeling quite hopeful, quite optimistic in the month of October. As you move into October, you get news that gives you that boost, that adrenaline to say, you know what, I do have hope. Maybe it was a job offer recently. Perhaps it's a new job opportunity that came into your life that you realize, wow, I'm in a much better financial situation than I thought I would be. And I'm in a much better and happier place. For some of you, this could be hope in love. Maybe you're opening up to the possibility of love, and now you're feeling hopeful that things could actually come about in the love life area for you. And some of you are looking at your legacy, looking at what you want to leave behind. Many of us come to this soul's journey to play in this human experience and leave something, a mark on, humanity. Even big or small, it doesn't matter. However, it ripples into our universal connection and flow. It doesn't matter. It's all a part of it. And so, you're hopeful about that. You're taking a look at that. This is being illuminated to you. It hasn't been for a while. You have been living in survivor mode for a long time, Cancers, and now you're going to enter a period of not only surviving, but thriving. And that's exciting. There's a bit of structure that's coming about in your life with the Hierophant. There's a bit of needing that structure. And some of you, this represents you being steadfast in your spiritual practices, maybe of attending church, maybe of prayer. Also, this is signifying for some of you, maybe going back to a certain institution, going back to school. Some of you may be having to deal with, systems, if you will, school systems or governmental systems in the month of October. But it doesn't look like it's going to be all bad if whatever you have to deal with in terms of the Hierophant. It's not bad because it's got the star right here and the Chariot right beside it. And so I get a sense that the overall energy is what you'll be confronting is a sense of finally feeling optimistic about your life, feeling optimistic about the choices you've made to get you to this point, and that you've been steadfast in trying to push forward and push your agenda forward. Sometimes with the Hierophant, though, it's about the status quo at times, about following, in line, following what, what's indoctrined in us. And that may be where you might be a little too cautious and not putting yourself out there and not taking chances. Spirit is saying, you will have almost instant success if you start moving forward in the direction that you're trying to go. Whether it's a long lost hobby that you want to start picking up and doing, do it, because things are going to take off. Or maybe this Hierophant is you going back to school, and because you love, makeup, maybe you want to be a makeup artist or a hairstylist. Perhaps some of you, are writers or artists or readers or healers of some sort. The Spirit is saying, you know what? If you really want to be about your legacy, if you really want to move forward and, and focus on that even more, you got to move quickly towards that and follow your joy, surrender to your bliss, follow your joy, because the Four of Cups tells me you haven't been really surrendering to your bliss. There have been moments in your life where you're looking out at others, especially, for some of you, if you have your work life okay, but but perhaps your home life isn't that great. Or maybe your home life is great, but your work life isn't that great. Or, you know, maybe your love life kind of sucks and you're looking at other people and you're like wishing you had what they had. There's going to be some of that energy going on in the month of October. And I'm going to use this word to caution you to be careful about that, because you've got some powerful manifestational energies rocking you in October. You've got the Chariot, which is usually garnering success for you in an area that you're trying to pursue. You've got the Star right beside it. And so you've got success at hand. Here, I love this. It says moonlighting. You can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay the bills. Soon, your dream career will take flight and fully support you. So Spirit is saying, yes, you need to go ahead and start doing it now, especially if you've just, you know, gotten a little bit more financially secure. Maybe you got a new job. Maybe you will be getting a new job coming soon for some of you. I get a sense of that. A job offer, perhaps. When that happens, you'll start to be in a place where obstacles and blocks are lifted, and you'll have an opportunity to moonlight in a hobby or an interest that really moves you, that you could do day in and day out, whether you were paid or not. That's moving into legacy lifestyle living. Okay? It says obstacles and blocks are lifted. All your good personal work and your positive energy shift have overcome previous obstacles, and blocks are lifted away. You will now experience progress and forward movement with your projects. Stay centered in gratitude to ensure that your flow of abundance continues. Okay, so just be cautious about that Four of Cups energy. What's good about the Four of Cups is it says, hey, there's something kind of stagnant and stale in my life. What needs to be illuminated in it that I need to work on? You know, and so it could be in your love life. It could be in your work life. You know, for some of you, I really get a sense it's going to be the love life, while others, it's your work life. All right. So what tools you'll be utilizing is Seven of Swords. Being aware, being wary of people who may not have your best interests at heart, and may, in fact, to some extent, be taking advantage of you. Being aware of that, knowing that, seeing that is good, because now you can make moves to avoid the situations or to move around those situations. Perhaps it may be, although it could be you that's like kind of holding back some information, you know, that someone could very well be being privy to this information that you may be withholding, as this person is withholding, but you feel like it's not in your best interest or in someone else's best interest for that to happen. So just be careful. Again, I'm just cautioning you with that energy. I'm cautioning you to be aware if something's kind of not feeling right. You know, if it's something being withheld with you, just kind of listen. You don't have to get defensive. You don't need to be defensive in the situation. You just need to be cautious. Also, if it's you withholding, be careful, because this could come back to bite you. So, you know, just watch how you're moving. Watch how you're moving. Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings in your resources, your career life, your building of your dreams, if you're building, and when I say your dreams, I'm not talking about ambitious kind of dreams. I'm talking about your dreams of like a new home, you know, a car to transport you here and there, having nice things, being able to go on vacations, having a career you could be proud of. New beginnings. Aces are about new beginnings in that area. And so this is where it's like, hey, in October, it's time to take a look at what it is you want to do now, what it is for the next 5, 10, 15 years. What is that big picture thing for you? And it sometimes starts off really small. Literally, I'm telling you, like literally a hobby or interest, like collecting crystals. And that spawns into something where You have a school on, mineralogy and how people can use healing crystals, and, who knows? The sky's the limit, but you've got to be willing to be open to taking a chance and moving forward, having that initial spark, and then taking the initiative to go. Again, it's really about following your bliss. It really and truly is about following your bliss, surrendering to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling. During both the hard and easy times, keep surrendering to more joy. Okay, that's a powerful tool this month for you. Cancers, it's super powerful in everything that you're thinking about, whether it's in what you wish to do next in your life, whether it's navigating a difficult interpersonal situation, or, you're trying to figure out how to communicate something. Say, how can I infuse joy into the situation, even when it's joyless, even when it doesn't seem like you could? Because you'd be surprised at what a little bit of joy can do in any given situation. Even if you just take a few seconds to just say, hey, how can I make this situation lighter and brighter? And it just can just cause ripple energetic effects to turn things around for you. Okay, Eight of Wands is saying, again, there's going to be news, fast news coming, maybe job offers or news of acceptance offers, news of things moving forward quickly, maybe an opportunity for you to teach a class. You've got to be ready to do that. You've got to be ready to start to move in the direction and maybe start planning, writing out your plans. I mean, it's an exciting time. So to really help, channel all that fast moving energy that's going to be coming your way and maybe carrying on through November and beyond, even beyond October, you're going to need to, ground yourself and maybe journaling, spending some time in nature, using some healing stones, some grounding stones. I believe I have a crystal, I have a crystal series that discusses some of the basics of crystals and crystal healing. And I'm pretty sure I've already uploaded a grounding video. I would encourage you this month, Cancers, to consider grounding with crystals and check out that video because it has some tips with regards to that. And we have the Nine of Swords. So there is some worrying going on, again, where it's like, okay, is this really something I need to be worried about, that I need to be cautious about? What is going on here? Because I keep looking at this card and it's Nine of Swords, and it's like, I'm getting more of a sense that you're worried about your future. It's maybe sometimes things that keep you up at night, or just kind of plays in the back of your mind. It may not keep you up at night, but you're like, what am I going to do next? How am I going to, really start to make a way for me to retire earlier, or achieve my other financial goals, to live, with less money, but with more happiness. How can I pay all my bills? There's something that's, causing you to use caution. Maybe it's your concern from your family. You're afraid to start a new career because you're afraid that if you start that new career, your family's finances may suffer. Spirit is saying, don't worry about that. The obstacles and blocks are lifted. Just move in the direction you're trying to go and you'll get there. Two of Pentacles, first you have the Ace of Pentacles, probably towards the beginning and middle part of the month, and towards the end. The tools that you're next moving is into trying to balance it all, trying to balance, balancing your work life, your 9 to 5, your bread and butter job with your passion pursuit. And it finds this tool, you balancing, you choosing to balance, you enjoying it to some extent. Look at the person in this picture. She's enjoying this. She's enjoying what's happening here. And she's enjoying that she has the opportunity to turn her fear and caution, to throw caution to the wind and say, you know what, I don't know how I'm going to balance it, but I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make this work. Also another tool to add on into what you need to work on and consider doing in the month of October is surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. And you'll know the situation that comes up in the month of October that this card is speaking to. And in general, just surrender defensiveness. Stop worrying so much. Stop being so cautious when you're dealing with others, and just relax a little. Relax. It's going to be all right. You don't need to be so defensive. All right, so we're moving into the outcome cards, which I like to usually tie into the love cards here. We've got the Five of Wands. Oops. The Five of Wands, some energies that are happening here is kind of like some tit for tat kind of arguments, maybe some conflicting energies within yourself of not knowing what to do, not knowing which passion to pursue, and it's causing some kind of strife for you. It's causing some upset, but you just need to relax, and don't take this energy into November from October because it's not necessary. You don't need it. What you'll gain from it is that you'll get clear by the end of the month of October that, hey, I've got some, let me look at these as a blessing. I've got lots of things I could be doing, and I don't need to be, stressing. I don't need to be, having tugs of wars inside of my mind. I don't need to be arguing with others. I'm going to leave that behind. I'm going to surrender defensiveness in the situation that I'm thinking of. Okay? I'm going to relax a little about it. You will also have some Three of Cups energy. You will be surrendering to joy. So not only is this the advice and tool card, but this is confirmation with the Three of Cups that you actually will have some fun in October. If you celebrate Halloween, for example, I see you really getting into the mood and the spirit of it all, really engaging with others with it and having a ball and just having fun, reaching out to others and connecting and bonding and connecting with friends, old friends, making new friends. It's just going to be a festive time for you. It's an interesting time for you of what's going on, but it's a time of growth as well. So be grateful for it because, these moments, sometimes we go through lull and retreat moments, but there are times when we are actively engaging with the universe and really being the yang of the situation and not the yin where we're receiving, but we are moving forward and charging ahead. Here we have the Magician. The Magician is saying, hey, wow, you have been making some beautiful things happen, some magical things happen in your life over the past month. And, this continues to carry on. This energy will carry on into the following months beyond October, where you are magically making things happen and growing in your moonlighting business, for example. So that's beautiful. In terms of, I'm going to finish reading this and then we'll move to to the finale card. We have the Devil card, another major arcana. We have quite a bit of major arcana energy going on, Cancers, in the month of October. And we'll talk about that. It's saying that with the major arcana, it's about energies that are not necessarily fixed, but universal energies that we're kind of being swayed. And it's really, all we can do is just kind of deal with it as best we can with these energies, okay? Whereas the minor arcana are the ones that are either moving, action, moving you forward, or they're ways that you can move with the energies. And so you surrendering to your joy and surrendering that defensiveness, letting that go is going to help you as you move through October and you move forward. There's some devil energy coming up. Perhaps, this could be is something like in the outcome card, you find yourself gossiping about a situation and perhaps you get caught with the gossip, or maybe you are in a kind of vicious codependent cycle with a family member or a loved one, and it's a continuous cycle that you both seem to just kind of fall in line with, and it doesn't seem to be getting better. But there is transformation coming at hand. There's the Death card, and the Death card is the ultimate transformation card. Now, sadly for some of you, death could, not in a bad way, but death could be in the form of the 3Ds, death, divorce. Did I say 3Ds? Death, divorce, and debt? I don't know. And I don't think debt. But it could be in the form of the ending of a relationship, or it could be in the form, ending of a relationship, not necessarily marriage or intimate relationship. It could be a long-standing friendship that finally needs to come to an end because you're getting tired. You're transforming here. You're changing and making room for something bigger that's trying to merge through you. And you don't have the energy or the time to deal with devilish things that are happening. So you're in a place of surrendering that, which is beautiful. In terms of love, let's speak first to the singles. We have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So I find in the beginning, and for some of you throughout the month, you'll be retreating, pulling back, kind of going within and just seeing where you are in your love landscape, in your heart landscape, because you are trying to assess whether or not you really can make room and allow love to re-enter your life. You are in a place of trying to understand your deservedness of love. And this card is here to confirm to you that you are lovable, and it is time to now move forward. If you were wondering if you should go ahead and start opening your heart up again, the answer is yes. And again, if you needed a little bit more confirmation of that, here is calling in your soulmate. Your prayers and your affirmations and visualizations help bring you together. So if you're single and there's no prospects yet, this card is assuring you that prospects are coming, and that this again is confirmation that you're on the right track to opening your heart up. For those who are just budding relationships with someone, initially you're kind of in a retreat mode initially from them, and then they're like, towards the middle of the month, you realize you deserve love, you deserve connectedness, and you're starting to soften up and open up. So then you're like, okay, come on in and play. And the retreat for yourself is over. While others, I get a sense that you're retreating with your partner for those who are coupled up. For those who are coupled up, you're retreating not just from going within yourself like a cocooning, but you're also cocooning with your partners, which is a beautiful thing. And finally, calling in your soulmate for those who are coupled or coupling up. This is saying, hey, yes, you are probably hanging around one of your soulmates. This is true. But in order to have a lasting love, you still have work to do. You still have the magician energy to carry on into the next several months or years or decades with your partner. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. But guess what? They also help keep you together, Cancer. So don't stop doing that work. It's important for your relationship. And surrendering defensiveness, I have a feeling, has something to do with the interpersonal, intimate relationship. Trick or treat, mischief and play. This card comes as confirmation again that you are going to be having some good times. Yeah, there may be some heartaches, some pains coming with transformation, but that's just growth, my loves. Let's take a quick look at the guidebook to close out this reading. For my new oracle, the Halloween oracle. This is Trick or Treat. It's the card. I'm just going to read an excerpt. Should you receive the trick or treat card in your divination, it may well be a time to examine the role of play and mischief in your own life. You don't have to be a child to let go and have some playtime, and you can extend the fun to others. Sometimes we are afraid to make mistakes, and play is one way to alleviate the pressure that we sometimes place on ourselves to get everything perfect every time. Alternatively, it is worth knowing that there is a balance between manipulation and mischief. The former is not pleasant, and the other has at its core a sense of irreverent fun. Wow, I think that ties in your reading nicely, my dears. Well, thank you, Cancers, for spending, almost 40 minutes with me on this fine evening with you doing this reading. I wish you a very blessed and abundant October. Much love, many blessings. Bye. Okay. And then finally, what's happening in October in life and love for Leos? What will Leos be leaving behind in October as they move on? And what will Leos be taking forward with them into November? Interesting. Outcome cards for Leo. Oh, we'll just take it. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. What do Leos need to surrender in the month of October? Oh, surrender drama. Any other messages? Surrender to silence. Nice. Let's get these up. I want to make sure I have enough room, but make sure all the cards are in the frame. Sometimes I don't see them all in the frame. Scoot this down. Okay. All right. In terms of abundance, what's happening for Leos? And what advice do you have for Leos? Release jealousy. Who are you jealous of, Leos? Who will you be jealous of? Do you know yet? And any other messages? Pay yourself first. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. In terms of love, Spirit, what do you have to say about Leo's love life, whether they are singled or coupled? What's happening in October, and what advice do you have? Thank you. Okay. All right. So we've got heart-to-heart conversations. We've got separation. And then we've got chemistry. Interesting. And then finally, we're going to do a closing card with the Halloween Oracle. So, Spirit, what special message for the month of October do you have for Leos that will help tie in everything, or just a lasting message they need to ponder over for the month or continuously come back to grow? Let's see what we got. Spider, community, and web weaving. Lovely. It's kind of nice. I don't know. Can this fit? Let's see. Let's just kind of stick you over here so we can see you. Okay. Wow. I love just taking it in for a moment, seeing what we've got going on. So, what's happening for our lovely Leos in the month of October is we have 10 of Wands right at the start. Carrying other people's burdens, feeling the need to carry other people's burdens for some reason. Maybe that's what you're entrapped by. You're entrapped by this need, this insatiable need to always kind of be there for others or to be their savior when it's at the expense of your own well-being. It's at the expense of your own love life. It's at the expense of your own growth and opportunity. So it kind of blocks your opportunity and blocks your ability to attract more passion, to attract a new relationship. Perhaps this is the burdens of an old relationship that you may be dealing with, that you're trying to close the door to. Perhaps this is the burdens of carrying around, trying to find new employment for yourself, but you're still carrying around the burdens of your present or past employers. Just constantly carrying up maybe on the family's burdens all the time as your own. Maybe you're a parent and you can't help but to. But I get a strong sense that now it's feeling more like entrapment and not like what it may have started out to be, like, you know, in terms of like a love relationship gone bad. It just becomes so burdensome. You feel entrapped by it and you don't know quite what to do. Meanwhile, you are working quite a bit. You're working. Here we see with the Eight of Pentacles, you're growing something. You're steadfastly working at it. You're not quite there yet. You're not quite, you know, in the dream career that you want to be in. You're not quite where you want to be in your business building. You're not quite where you want to be in, you know, your purpose, but you're getting there. You're seeing progress in your life. You know, it's slow but sure, and you're pleased with what you're seeing. But sometimes it takes a toll, all the work that you've been putting in. Maybe this is work. Usually when we're talking about Pentacles, we're talking about your career, we're talking about your finances, we're talking about your resources. So with the Eight of Pentacles, I usually tend to think this is talking about work. You know, in terms of work, it's important to just keep steadfast, keep going, and to know that, hey, you may not be able to see where it is you're going to land right now, and maybe you're not supposed to see, but you are steadfastly working towards what you're trying to build, and that's awesome. In terms of like love and in terms of new things happening, certainly new passions are blossoming. We have the Lovers and the Two of Cups sitting right next to each other. So in the month of October, you've got some highs and lows going on in terms of your life. I mean, you've got some lows, some burdens, maybe some burdens in terms of not being able to be where you wish to be in financially or in your passion pursuits, and you are burdened by other people's issues that you can't get to yours. Well, that may be a low point in your life, but where a high point, where a singing point is your opportunity to, you know, if you are single, your opportunity to have a new love interest that feels quite like soul stirring. Like just you're ready to see what may come of this new connection. This new connection may come towards the mid part, towards the end part of October, but nevertheless, it does come. If we're to look at the love area here, we have heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So if you are single and there's no one here, you know, in the beginning of the month, you've been burdened by old memories. You've been burdened by your ex's issues. Maybe you've been dealing with their bills, dealing with their problems, their issues. And it's time to have a heart-to-heart conversation with them this month and say, no more. I'm ready to allow a new relationship to come in. I'm ready to allow the relationship that I have with myself to heal. I'm ready to let this go. So for those of you who are single, who've been kind of toiling back and forth with someone, it's time to have that heart-to-heart conversation where you're saying, I'm releasing your burdens back to you and I'm moving on. There will finally come a separation with you guys. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. And this is a good thing because you needed this time apart. You needed this time to release and let go and maybe pursue some new endeavors in love or to allow new endeavors to blossom. But you're separating from this current situation. I'm still speaking to the same person. We have chemistry. chemistry, it says here, there's a strong magnetic attraction here. So for this same person, I get a sense that it's going to feel like almost as soon as you release your ex and you let go of that person, you have that heart-to-heart conversation where you're like, look, we can be friends, but I can no longer still be your surrogate freaking wife or your surrogate husband or your surrogate mom or whatever the case may be. Time to have that heart-to-heart conversation so the separation can come, so you can make way for the person who's really trying to come in and have that chemistry with you, to build something with you. It's quite beautiful, really, in terms of love. In terms of love for the coupled Leos, the ones who are in relationships, at first, again, you're carrying the burdens of the family and they're what they want and not so much what you want. And so it's time to have a heart-to-heart conversation with your partner, just in the nick of time before a separation happens, where maybe a partner goes off and has to go away for business or has to go away for, family affairs or things that have to happen, or maybe, this does, the heart-to-heart conversation happens and someone gets angry and there's a temporary separation that happens. But ultimately, you all, as the close of October happens, you come back together, and that chemistry that is what initially brought you together is now the fire that's what's keeping you together with the Lovers and the Two of Cups energy. So that's beautiful. Now, let's move on to the tools position. So we have the Knight of Cups, and it's saying, hey, Leos, it's time to be about action in terms of pursuing emotional fulfillment this month. It is time to move towards the direction of love. If you want love in your life, especially if you are single or you're dealing with a difficult situation, it is time to say, hey, I'm going to move away from difficult relationships and move towards love. I'm going to move away from not loving myself by sticking around people who don't value me and who don't love me. And I'm going to move in the direction of finding peace and serenity in my heart and taking care of myself and taking care of my needs. That's where you are. And that's what you can use and utilize for your growth. So in terms of, the Emperor here sitting right underneath the Eight of Pentacles, but above the Three of Swords, tells me this may be speaking more about your work life, your resources life. And we're going to talk now a little bit about these cards here. The Emperor is, in control, sets plans and strategizes, and really is executing plans that affects many people or affects himself, herself, but also others, and recognizes the ripple effects and the power that they have, and really takes ownership. And that's you, that you will be utilizing those tools, and it will be helpful. There's going to be some things that come up in the month of October for you, Leos, where you are needing to release jealousy. And it says here, jealousy is an affirmation that you don't have something and the universe manifests exactly as you affirm. Let other people's successes inspire rather than frustrate you. If they can have it, so can you. So the Emperor isn't jealous of the next man's empire. I mean, perhaps he'll probably look to the other empire and say, hey, I want it to be more successful like that. But he's not going to sit and stew and be like wondering what's wrong with him or what's not right with him and this or that, and fretting over it and being jealous and spiteful and kind of, I don't know, just not sitting in the right kind of vibrational energies. He's sitting in the empowered way, in the inspired way. And that's what's going to work for you too. Pay yourself first. So I get a sense that maybe savings has not been your forte lately, Leos, but it needs to be. Make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have savings to invest in your present and your future. So that's quite powerful as I take that in. So now we are moving into the other tools that we have. We have Justice and we have Two of Swords sitting next to it. And it's about having to weigh and make decisions and having to deal with things and deal with people. And so you have the ability to be just and fair. Even when you're not clear yet on what you should do, you still are able to operate in a very fair manner with whomever you're dealing with. And you do this by surrendering the drama. It says here, no matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. Surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. So, you surrender to silence. You know, when you can't always see what's before you or what you need to see, sometimes you have to just go within. You have to get silent. You have to get still. You can't ask others. You know, the Justice here, you know, they consult, they rely on their wisdom, their past experience. They rely on prior precedents, right? Something that's happened before, they've seen it. They can be able to say, I can make a decision by really looking at everything, looking at all aspects of everything and making a fair decision, making a decision that's good for me, good for all others involved. I may not be able to see everything. I may not have all the information before me. It may be difficult for me to see everything I need to see about this situation, but I know I've got things I can count on. So there's going to be a situation that comes up. It's kind of drama filled, but you will have the wisdom, the inner experience, and you're going to be able to look at prior precedents with your dealings with this person or this situation. And you're going to be able to make a decision, a sound decision next month that's going to move you to a much more peaceful place. But you're going to have to get silent and you're going to have to surrender the drama and stop looking for others to give you the answers, looking outside of yourself, but going within to get the answers. Finally, we have the outcome cards. So we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, I think, comes in here when we're talking about paying yourself first. So with the Four of Pentacles, it's time for you to start paying yourself first. If you have financial goals where you've been feeling a little stymied, you feel like, okay, yeah, I'm making some money here, making some coins, but I'm not quite getting where I need to go. I'm not quite getting ahead. It's time to pay yourself first. And you will, and you'll carry this energy forward beyond October, beyond November, where you're just going to start getting into the habit of saving, 10% of your monthly income, getting into the habit of saving X number of dollars. So you will definitely get to a place where you're going to feel more financially secure towards the end of the month, but it's not going to happen right away. Then we have the Three of Swords that comes up. And the Three of Swords is telling me that in terms of those folks who I was speaking to who maybe kind of dealing with the Ten of Wands with a loved one or an ex or someone who you don't even really have to be dealing with anymore. this tells me that you're finally going to have a moment where there's that disappointment, and it's going to be where you just realize, hey, I can't continue to carry on like this. You can't carry on like this. We got to move on. And the Three of Swords comes, and, it's like, okay, this is it. It's sad, it's disappointing, but I've got to move on in my journey. And you will move on, Leos. You do move on. You move on from the disappointment, whether this disappointment is dealing in work matters, since we're sitting under the Eight of Pentacles and the Emperor. It very well could be that, but it also could be dealing with the love area. There could have been a disappointment for our coupled up Leos. And, you're like, I don't even know how to move forward with my partner after this disappointment. After, maybe it's something with the jealousy or in having to have a heart-to-heart conversation, and maybe even feeling like a separation is in order. But ultimately, that's not going to happen, because I see success at hand with the Chariot, moving forward towards love, success, moving towards new passion pursuits, opportunities, releasing that entrapment, letting go of those chains, having emotional fulfillment, feeling connected to your community, feeling connected to your loved ones, your family, your lover, your work family. You just feel such emotional fulfillment and such emotional attainment, and you are so empowered by that. You can't believe that where you had started from at the beginning of October, how you're ending. You feel happy, you feel complete, you feel secure, you feel safe to love, you feel safe to grow, and you finally have that sense of, I'm at home in myself, and I'm at home in this relationship, and I'm at home in this community, and I'm at peace. And you surrendered the drama, you let it go, but it's a process that gets you there. It's definitely a process, but it's all in the name of love. All in the name of love, Leos. Let's close out with a reading for the Halloween Oracle with the spider. Community and web weaving. Community and web weaving. Let's take a look at the guidebook. I'm going to read an excerpt from the guidebook. Wow, it's beautiful. Spiders' webs can be seen as a symbol of connection, not necessarily entrapment. Ooh, that's interesting that word came up again, right? There's a fine line sometimes between a family or community supporting us and controlling us. This card looks at this discernment. It also suggests you review the way you communicate with the wider community, at work, or generally with others, and take steps to improve this or do it slightly differently. It also indicates that there needs to be a balance between what you do for yourself and what you do for others. If we give too much to the outside, our strength diminishes and we cannot weave the supporting web for ourselves. That's what we were talking about. Don't be entrapped, be empowered. Wow. Wow. It's quite powerful, isn't it? Ten of Wands, entrapment card. Be careful with that, my lovely Leos. Be careful with that. Well, that's it. That's what we've got for you for the month of October. Wishing you a very blessed and abundant October, Leos. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, Virgos. We are doing your monthly life, love, oracle, and tarot reading. And we're going to start with the White Rabbit Oracle and a combo of the Oracle of Nightmares by Ariana Siegel. She created these decks and I combined them. We're looking at Virgo's overall overarching energies for the month of October. Let us see what's going on in Virgo's forecast. Changing it up this month with a different forecast reader. Okay. So we've got the energies of love, which is sweet and nice. We've got the energy of a messenger, a message coming to you, needing to come through you to someone else. But messenger is a messenger of news, some news coming to you this month. Some energies surrounding dealing with news will be at the forefront. And then we have risk. A call to take a risk or maybe not be so risky. Maybe something's, is too risky for you that we need to look at. So we'll see how these overall overarching energies are playing out in the rest of the reading for you. Now I'm going to have to scoot those down just a smidge so it can fit in the frame. Don't put them too far down so we can't see them. Okay. All right, so we're going to now lay out the rest of the cards. Spirit, what will Virgos be confronting in October in life and love and abundance? Or what do they need to confront? Okay. Maybe the message is about love. I don't know. Since we have Ten of Swords. Nope. Taking a risk, I like it. I wonder what that risk is about. Is it inviting you to take a risk or is it inviting you to chill? Wow. Completions of things coming to you. You may be being risk averse. What tools will Virgos be utilizing in October? Spirit, thank you. What tools will Virgos be utilizing and should be utilizing? Okay, and then finally, what's the outcome card? Spirit, what's happening in life and love and abundance for Virgos and in October, and what will Virgos be leaving behind in October, and what will they be carrying forward into November? Nice. Chariot. Okay. We're going to lay out the rest of the cards. What do Virgos need to surrender in the month of October? What do Virgos need to surrender? Okay. Interesting. Surrender unhealthy relationships. Surrender your desire to control people. Interesting. Okay. And for abundance for Virgos for October, Spirit, what's happening for the Virgos and what advice do you have for them? Okay. For love for singled and coupled up Virgos, Spirit, what's happening in October and what advice do you have for Virgos? Perception. Okay, quite a lot to say in the love arena, Virgo. So we're going to spend some time talking about love this month. Okay? All right. And then finally, we're going to close with the Halloween Oracle, doing a little reading from that. Spirit, what special message do you have for Virgo? Thank you for the quick flip. The veil, the future. Does that fit? Or do I need to? Maybe scoot you guys over some. Okay. All right. So let's get started with this massive reading here at Virgos. All right. So right at the start, we start off with some Ten of Swords energy. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's not necessarily the most pleasant of ways to start off the month, where you're, perhaps really experiencing the ending of something. But of course, with every ending, there is a beginning, a new beginning. And this could be the ending for some of you of relationships. This could be the ending of a work relationship. This could be the ending of a job. This also could be, the ending of maybe the way you have been doing things, the way you have been thinking about things. Now you have realized that's no longer can be. You're going to have a whole new way of thinking about a certain situation. So an old pattern dies, but a new way of thinking about the situation is born. So it's not always a bad thing to see the Ten of Swords. Although, yes, it can bring great bouts of disappointment, sure. But there's opportunity for growth. There's opportunity for expansion. There's maybe a message in that if you wish to have love, you're going to, yes, sometimes go through endings, and then you're going to have a new beginning. A new beginning is assured in love because we have the Ace of Cups sitting next to it. So just as soon as you get comfortable with the idea, Virgos, of being by yourself, for those who are in this kind of situation, a new beginning in love sprouts up. Chemistry comes about, and, something new is born, as we see in the love card. So that's exciting. For others, it's just, maybe a new beginning in terms of having, self-care and emotional fulfillment just on your own terms, not being in a relationship, and that's fulfilling enough for you. And the Ten of Swords was the ending of a relationship, and here's the Ace of Cups, a new beginning with yourself, a new beginning with a relationship with yourself, which is wonderful. Here we have surrender unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people, Virgos. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. Okay? Also, this dynamic that you need to let go of. Maybe if you're not currently in this kind of dynamic in a relationship now, maybe you were in the past, and this is a pattern that can continue to go about and happen in your life. You want to have this release. You want to be rid of this kind of pattern. You really want to be rid of this kind of pattern, even if you're in a current relationship. It is not healthy to be in an unhealthy relationship. And then, as a result of being in an unhealthy relationship, then you try to control the person. You try to control the outcome. There's no good that comes of that. It says, surrender your desire to control people. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. So you find yourself in a vicious cycle where you're in a Ten of Swords moment, and then now you're entering an Ace of Cups moment, which is wonderful. Then you go to a Ten of Pentacles moment, which is great. This is what you're experiencing, where you're finally feeling, wow, I'm feeling financially just at a place where I don't really have to fret and worry for many Virgos, where you're like, I feel safe and secure. I have emotional and financial fulfillment, and I have, fulfillment in my career life. I just feel really grounded and rooted and stable and safe and loved and secure, and everything is fine. And then you go through a period of Five of Pentacles where you're like, God, I don't feel like I have enough. It just doesn't feel like anything's enough. There's not this great sense of balance right now in your life, Virgo. I get a sense of there's these just extremes. There's highs, lows, and in-betweens. And you just have to ask yourself, why is there's all these big shifts? Well, it's because you're chasing love and you want love. And this is a message for you. You're going to have to learn to risk putting your heart on the line, but for the right person. In the insurance world, where I come from, there's this concept called risk management, right? Where you're managing your risk. You're assessing what exactly could happen and what you could do to anticipate what could happen to have a more optimal outcome in a situation, right? So you're managing your risk. You're looking at your risk. You're taking a look at your heart, your love, the person that's in your life, the potential person that's in your life. You're seeing, hey, is there risk with being with this person? Should I consider having a relationship with this person? What could happen? You're assessing the risk. You're seeing if this person is worth the risk. Okay? That's important. But, it's just, there's a lot of ups and downs with you this month, Virgo. A lot of ups and downs. Let's speak a little bit more again on love. I just keep feeling the need. I thought it was meaning that, you're going to bring in somebody for love. But no, love to me with this card here, is saying this is a big theme in your life, and it always has been, Virgo. Everything you've done has always been about love and for love and always seeking love. So it's no surprise that it's coming up again in your reading, or that it would ever, that it's just a constant theme in your life. But there's some patterns going on. There's, in a partnership, for example, there's chemistry, thankfully, in your relationship. It always makes the relationship feel new. And in this month of October, you guys go through a period of feeling that newness. If you're in a relationship, feeling connected and feeling solid and going in the right direction, going in the same direction, same goals, same pursuits that you want out of life. And everything is just really, just chemically balanced and connected. But then there's like people wearing false masks. We have deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Is it you? Are you hiding something? Are you hiding some feelings about this person, that some concerns about them? Perhaps there is some deception on their part that you've caught them in, and that's why you're assessing the risk on whether or not you want to continue to be in this relationship with them. And so Spirit is inviting you this month to love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Okay? So for those who are not in a relationship necessarily, if you're trying to be in a relationship, Spirit is saying you need to love yourself first. If you have red flags that come up in a relationship or a new relationship, you need to take heed. Don't ignore them just for the sake of being in a relationship because you don't want to be by yourself. You're afraid to be alone. No, you need to love yourself first. Many of you have children, especially those who are dating now. Many of you have children who you need to protect, and just as you need to protect your heart. If you are dating with children, you have to protect the hearts of your children. So you just have to be aware that, yeah, you may have chemistry with this person, but do they mesh with your children? Are they wearing a false mask about how they really feel about kids? How they feel about your kid? How do you feel about that? You need to love your children first and love yourself first in that situation. If you are if you're just, like I said, single, perhaps you have some stuff stemming from your childhood that you need to heal. It's causing you to wear false self-mask in your relationships. You find yourself in these cycles where you have chemistry with someone, and then you see the first sign of deception from them, so you throw up this mask to protect yourself. And then you go through this cycle. Now it's time, while you're single, to love yourself first. And then to heal those childhood wounds. If you don't have, if this isn't really about children, this could be really about, even if you have children, about healing some childhood wounds, healing some things that stem from your childhood that is hampering and hurting your ability to be in an intimate way with people, in a real intimate way, in a deep, authentic, I have been so ill in front of this person kind of way, but they've seen the worst of the worst of me and they've seen the best of the best. To be that kind of vulnerable way. You can't do that if you've still got some stuff that you need to work on. So there's a lot of love, heart space stuff you need to work on this month, Virgos. Nothing wrong with that. It's just something that you really want in your life. It's something worthwhile for you. If you want to have this new beginning, especially those who are just starting to date, you've met someone, you're vibing with them, but right off the bat, you're starting to feel some things that is coming up. Well, you need to love yourself first and honor those red flags or those intuitive hits that say there's red flags, and then honor yourself by investigating and assessing the risk to see if it's something, if there's fire. That old saying, if there's smoke, where there's smoke, there's fire. You just want to make sure that's not the case. All right? Just saying. All right. So again, lots of ups and downs to see going on here. Tools. Let's look at the tools now. We have 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands in the tools position is saying, hey, recognize the journey that you've been on and the success. Take a moment, take a pause and say, wow, I've really, given myself and taken the time to pursue some passions and pursuits and really kind of hone in on what my purpose is. So now I'm just kind of allowing myself to be recognized, to bask in a little bit of success, to feel a little victorious. You feel a little victorious about your journey. Even if it doesn't look that great right now, no, hey, the messier the better. That means that things had to get a little messy in order to get back in order. So that's okay. That's okay. All right. So then we have Three of Cups in the Tools position. Having a good time, connecting with friends. October will be a great time for you to have fun, connect with your friends, have fun just for the sake of having fun, bonding, just really having a ball, really getting into the spirit of the season and just embracing it all just for the sake of it, of having fun with friends and family and loved ones. It's quite beautiful. And it's beautiful to see it sitting right underneath the Ace of Cups, right? You just see a progression. And then ultimately the Queen of Wands in the outcome position. It just shows that beautiful love progression that you make. You know, it starts off at you take a chance, a risk, a new beginning, and then things lead to beautiful connections. And then finally, you are the epitome of the creator of passion, of the supporter of passion. You are the nurturer of passion, growing in people's lives, growing in your life. It's so beautiful to see. The Knight of Cups is sitting also here. Again, love, love, love. The Cups is about love, emotions, your heart space, those things that deal with, just how you move in relationships, how you communicate, your heart space, how you share that connection. Connection, really. Knight of Cups, Knight is about action, moving forward, taking some steps to get some emotional fulfillment, some emotional connection, going forward. Sometimes, it may not be so pretty though, and sometimes we may be a little clunky. What I mean by that, for example, is you may show or express your love interest to someone and you may come off a little drunk, for example. That's just one little wonky little way. But nevertheless, you're pursuing and pushing forward, trying to gain more emotional balance, emotional fulfillment. It's just the attainment of love. King of Wands. When we're the king, we are embodying being able to have control and to be able to lead and to be able to strategize. So lead, strategize, and from a place of passion, intense passion, and do it with a place of conviction, a place of, drive and ambition. Use your ambitions for good. It says here, donations, tithing, and charitable work. Give joyfully to the organizations and people who spiritually support and inspire you, and know that your generosity will be returned to you manyfold in miraculous ways. The time, supplies, money, or other resources you donate will ensure that your positive energy multiplies. Doing things like, if, for example, I love writing and I love teaching young people how to tap into the creative writer in themselves. I could do that. That's me being like the King of Wands, finding my passion and sharing it with others, and then it comes back. Perhaps while I'm sharing it, while I'm, doing my charitable work, someone sees this and they say, hey, I have a teaching opportunity for you. Are you interested? Hey, I have a writing gig for you. Do you want to do that? And you see that that beautiful process, that give and take, that beautiful cycle that happens of receiving and giving and receiving and giving. Is quite beautiful and quite powerful. Do the work. Okay, here's also something in the tools position for the King of Wands. The King of Wands is about action and about getting people to be about action and doing what needs to be done to get it done. It says, it's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you are being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. So, again, the King of Wands is about doing the work. So get ready to do some work and be ready to do it, wanting to do it. That's the King of Wands. He wants to do it. He wants to be about it. Okay, so now let's move to the outcome cards. You've got some major arcana energy going on, and a court card going on in your outcome position. So these are energies that are really going to be affecting all Virgos in one way or the other at one time of the month or not. But we see here the Chariot. So in terms of growth, from the time you started until the end, until, the conclusion of October, you are charging ahead. At first, it was a bumpy start emotionally, mentally for you. You had to really get over some things and to get ready for your new beginnings. But once you did, baby, look out. You're the Chariot, and Chariot has assured success in whatever area that they're focusing on. So whatever area you're thinking about, you're moving forward full steam ahead, and with power and conviction behind you. It's quite powerful and it's quite beautiful. And with the Queen of Wands saying, yeah, you are really tapping into what your passions are, and it's being born through you at this time in a beautiful way. You're drawn to it. You're willing to take the risk to put yourself on the line to have some success and to go after it. It's quite powerful, really. It really is. You are assured success with the World card. I mean, again, some powerful major arcana happening going on right now. The future looks bright for you, Virgos. It looks bumpy in the beginning, but you're working through these processes. You're going through it. You're going through the motions, getting through it, and it's beautiful, and it's unfolding as it should be. As a the energies that you are going to be carrying, though, through into November from October is the Hermit. There's a lot of growth happening with you, Virgo. A lot of growth happening with you in terms of emotional development within yourself and emotional intelligence. And also being able to mentally be strong enough to go through everything that you're trying to go through. All the while trying to release old patterns. You will do so. You're going to be receiving divine messages. You're going to be receiving divine messages about what to do next, where to go next, So it's time to get still and to listen. Even for a few seconds per day, you need to go within. Even if you're more of a social butterfly, if you tend to be more on that side of things, the Hermit card says, no matter what, you're just going to go within. You're going to go within. And that's the energy that's going to be, that's kind of starts at the, say October 25th, carrying on through to November and beyond with some Hermit energy where you're, going in and just spending time inside, spending time away from others, spending time from outside influences so you can get clear on the answers that you need to get clear on. Okay? It's a turbulent time in terms of mental and emotional stuff, but it's a beautiful time because there is abundance at hand. There is success at hand for you. There is success and love for you. For those in relationships, children do affect your relationship. There may be things going on in your dynamic, and yet you throw children into the mix and everything even just becomes amplified and more pressing to deal with. But what's happening in October is success, assured success in your family life, in your home life, so that's powerful. But then you still struggle with doubt. You still struggle with feeling some lack, feeling not like you can really manifest what it is that you need for your family. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? Why do you allow that cycle to continue to go about for yourself? You have to ask yourself that. My apologies as I gather my candles. This one is done too. So it's just, wow. Just quite the reading. I'm going to take a moment, though, Not going to like that one because this reading's almost over. And I'm going to wrap it up for the night after your reading. Yay, I'm going to go to bed. The veil. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what Spirit has to say to you specifically, Virgos. The veil. Just going to read an excerpt here. Actually, I'm going to read the whole thing. It says, the veil, the future. There is a misty curtain that divides us all. The veil that this night thins. Transparent the weave becomes, and the future no longer dims. The ancient Celts used to call the time of the longest night of the year Samhain, pronounced Samhain. They believed that there was a misty veil that separated the world of the dead and the living. But on 2 nights of the year, Samhain and Beltane, the shortest night, that the veil would thin. The finest of the veil meant the ancestors were closer than ever, and even the gods would be close. This would mean that communication from the dead were more likely to occur, and that divination, where the divine speaks through something, would be more effective. So while using this oracle as the veil lifts, know that the other worlds are close. Listen in particular to what messages may come forth around your future. Look to what you want to happen. Plan. Set intentions. Think big. Think big. Think big like the Queen of Wands would. Think big like the King of Wands. Look, messenger. Oh my God, I love that. Don't be so risk averse. Take a chance. Think big. Thinking big is going to catapult you. Like the Virgo that we could look to example. I believe Beyonce is an excellent example of how she lives big and takes big risks. Time to do the same, my dear. All right. Well, much love to you. Have a very blessed and awesome, awesome October, my lovely Virgos. See you in the next video.